What's going on, guys? It's Mr. DEBT Joe Lorick from the Money Etiquette Group, and here's my take on yesterday's announcements from Einsteinium EMC2. A lot of people remember we've been talking about Einsteinium for several weeks because an announcement came out via Twitter from the company that a big announcement was going to occur on the 19th. Of course, this built huge expectations for the coin and for the company, and either it was going to be a make or break type of announcement. It turned out to be not so great of an announcement based on how investors felt about it, but ultimately it was a decent announcement in terms of what happens with the coin itself. This is what happens with the announcement, or this is what we can make of the announcement. Pretty much what they're saying and what they're putting out there is through new coding and a new fork date, they're going to allow people to mine this coin more easily than before. So instead of having a coin where maybe a few people with super fast computers can mine the coins, now even someone in high school or someone in college, someone that's interested in this, the technology and the cause behind this coin, someone who's really into it can mine the coin. The average person can do it off of their laptop instead of having to have a supercomputer that runs up your energy bill. So that's the great news. That's actually not bad news, but the problem is when you set expectations high, people are going to respond in a certain way. This is how the market works. This is why Ripple has hired so many people recently when it comes to their communications team, because they want to make sure that messages go out correctly. That way they don't set expectations too high and you don't see what you saw yesterday with a coin dropping in value. Now, ultimately, long term, will the coin regain value? Will it be a good coin? I would say probably. So it's probably going to do a lot better, but it has to rebuild trust with the community. Again, you can go on their website. They now have an explanation of the explanation. So it shows that they messed up. They wouldn't put out two announcements unless the first announcement was correct or delivered correctly. So again, the announcement is really that the coin is more easy to mine for the average person, unlike Bitcoin and a lot of other coins out here where you have to have a supercomputer and you have to be sometimes part of a team to actually mine successfully. Now you can do so from your laptop. So again, good news for that reason. Bad news when investors want to see what's going to bring immediate gains. And also this news is saying that there's a plan to do so. It doesn't give an actual date. It doesn't say what's the time frame. It's just saying that that's something they're going to do. Also, I have a sneaky feeling that someone backed out on this deal in terms of being announced. They said that they're going to partner with another company, and they didn't name that company. It seems like you would have been able to name that company, and that might have been a big announcement, or that might have actually made the announcement bigger. But because that didn't happen, certainly we saw what happened with the price. Also, one last observation, and this is just for the cryptocurrency market, and this is just for learning. If a company is going to put out a big announcement and it fails to meet expectation, you see what happens. However, had the announced date not ever been made, had this news just come out of the blue, the coin actually would have grown. The value actually would have grown. So this wasn't about the announcement as much as it was about the delivery of the announcement. Pay attention to your cryptocurrency companies that you invest in and make sure they're good at delivering announcements, because this is what inexperience gets you. Not to knock the coin, but it's something that's worth paying attention to. So again, in short, not going into too much detail, but in short, the announcement is that with new coding, with a new fork that they're going to create, you're going to be able to mine the coin more easily. The average person can mine the coin, which makes it more accessible to the world, which is great, but for investors, not that great.